You're about to eat what you think is the healthiest meal of your day. A fresh salad, crisp greens, maybe some tomatoes, a few slices of cucumber, and then you reach for that bottle of dressing, the same one you've been buying for years without a second thought. What if that dressing is the most toxic thing on your plate? What if several of the ingredients hiding inside that bottle are banned across the entire European Union, used in airplane desing fluid, or manufactured from the same chemicals found in paint? Today I'm exposing the 15 hidden ingredients the food industry hopes you never flip the bottle over to read. Let's get into it. 15. High fructose. Corn syrup, starting at number 15, high fructose corn syrup is a cheap liquid sweetener made from cornstarch. It's in your dressing for one reason. It's dirt cheap and makes everything taste sweeter without the cost of real sugar. And it's everywhere. In Wishbone Western Original Sweet and Smooth French, HFCS is literally the #1 ingredient. Not oil, not vinegar, corn syrup. Marzetti sweet and sour dressing? Same thing, #1 ingredient. Kraft Creamy French lists it as #2, right after soybean oil. Kraft Fat-Free Catalina contains HFCS as the 3rd ingredient plus additional corn syrup on top of that. Here's why this matters. A Princeton University study found that rats fed HFCS gained significantly more weight than rats fed the exact same number of calories from regular sugar. Their body fat distribution changed abnormally, and their triglyceride levels spiked. Fructose goes directly to the liver, where excess amounts convert straight to fat, promoting non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. It's also been linked to insulin resistance, a direct precursor to type 2 diabetes. And the worst part? Many of these HFCS-loaded dressings are marketed as fat-free or light. The fat gets removed and replaced with liquid sugar. 2 tablespoons of Kraft Creamy French can contain more sugar than 2 Oreo cookies. That's your healthy salad topping. Most of the HFCS in these products comes from genetically modified corn, which may be sprayed with glyphosate, the herbicide classified as a probable human carcinogen by the World Health Organization's International Agency for Research on Cancer in 2015. So you're not just getting sugar, you're potentially getting pesticide residue alongside it. 14. Artificial food dyes. At number 14, we have petroleum-derived synthetic dyes like Yellow 5, Yellow 6, Red 40, and Blue 1. These are made from coal tar derivatives, including benzene and toluene. They add zero nutritional value. They exist purely to make your dressing look more vibrant on the shelf. Kraft Creamy French contains both Yellow 5 and Yellow 6. Kraft Fat-Free Catalina packs 3 dyes into one bottle: Yellow 6, Red 40, and Blue 1. Hidden Valley Avocado Ranch, a product with the word avocado in its name, uses Yellow 5, Yellow 6, and Blue 1 to make it look green instead of using actual avocado. A 2021 California report linked artificial food dyes to behavioral difficulties in children and harm to memory and learning. The European Union requires mandatory warning labels on products containing these dyes, stating they may harm attention and activity in children. That requirement effectively killed their use across Europe. The same companies, Kraft, Nestle, Mars, sell naturally colored versions of these exact products overseas. But in America, they use the petroleum dyes instead. In 2025, the FDA announced plans to phase out synthetic dyes. But the deadline has already slipped from 2026 to 2027, and there is still no binding mandate. The amount of synthetic food dye consumed per person in the U.S. has increased 5-fold since 1950. California has passed a law banning 6 synthetic dyes from school foods, effective 2027. Texas passed a law requiring warning labels. Similar bills have been filed in over 20 states. The Texas Attorney General even launched an investigation into Kellogg's for using artificial dyes in U.S. products, while removing them from the identical Canadian and European versions. If these companies can make clean products for Europe, they can make clean products here. They're choosing not to. 13. Calcium disodium, EDTA. Number 13 is calcium disodium, EDTA, a synthetic chelating agent that binds to metal ions to prevent your dressing from changing color or going rancid. Sounds harmless enough until you learn how it's made. This compound is synthesized from formaldehyde, sodium cyanide, and ethylenediamine. It is in nearly every major salad dressing brand on the market: Kraft Classic Ranch, Hidden Valley Original Ranch, Wishbone Creamy Caesar, Ken's Light Ranch, Marzetti Ranch, G. Hughes sugar-free dressings. Pick up almost any bottle and you'll find it listed as calcium disodium EDTA to protect flavor. Multiple registered dietitians have raised concerns that EDTA interferes with your body's absorption of essential minerals like zinc, iron, and calcium. It appears on the FDA's own priority list of food additives flagged for study on mutagenic, teratogenic, and reproductive effects. In June 2024, the European Food Safety Authority issued a formal call for data to reevaluate this ingredient, citing concerns about developmental toxicity. This is an ingredient made from formaldehyde and cyanide that's also used in laundry detergent and blood collection tubes, and it's in your ranch dressing. 12. Sodium benzoate. Moving to number 12, sodium benzoate is a preservative that stops bacteria and fungus from growing in acidic foods like dressings that contain vinegar. You'll find it in Kraft Classic Ranch, Kraft Catalina Fat-Free, Marzetti Ranch, Wishbone Creamy Caesar, Ken's Thousand Island, and most G. Hughes sugar-free varieties. The problem isn't sodium benzoate on its own. The problem is what it becomes. When sodium benzoate combines with ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C, or with citric acid, both of which are extremely common in salad dressings, it can form benzene. Benzene is a known human carcinogen. Heat, light, and long storage all accelerate that reaction. The FDA first became aware of this benzene formation problem in 1990. They did nothing about it for 15 years. It wasn't until 2005 that they finally tested products and they found samples exceeding the EPA's safety limits for drinking water. Meanwhile, peer-reviewed research has shown sodium benzoate causes chromosomal damage and DNA strand breaks in human blood cells. Many of the dressings in your refrigerator right now contain both sodium benzoate and citric acid in the same bottle. That is the exact chemical combination that produces benzene. 11. MSG and hidden MSG. At number 11, MSG, or monosodium glutamate, is a flavor enhancer that activates umami taste receptors. But the real issue isn't the MSG you can see on the label. It's the MSG hiding under names you'd never recognize. Hidden Valley Original Ranch lists monosodium glutamate directly on its label. So do Kraft Classic Ranch, Wishbone Ranch, and Ken's Buttermilk Ranch. But then there's the hidden forms. Autolyzed yeast extract, hydrolyzed vegetable protein, yeast extract, and natural flavors can all contain free glutamate, the active component of MSG, without triggering any labeling requirement. Wishbone Italian uses autolyzed yeast extract plus natural flavors. Walden Farms Ranch lists yeast extract. The FDA does not allow products with autolyzed yeast extract to claim no MSG, but natural flavors can legally contain MSG-type compounds with zero disclosure. MSG has close to 100 different names on ingredient labels. Some brands proudly print no MSG added on the front while listing yeast extract on the back. If you see disodium guanylate or disodium inosinate on any label, MSG is almost certainly present. Those two ingredients are flavor enhancers that only work in combination with MSG. 10. Potassium sorbate. Number 10 is potassium sorbate, a preservative used to stop mold, yeast, and bacteria from growing in dressings. It shows up in Kraft Classic Ranch, Ken's Light Sweet Vidalia Onion, Marzetti Ranch, Hidden Valley Original Ranch, G. Hughes Sugar-Free, and Wishbone Creamy Caesar, among many others. A peer-reviewed study published in Toxicology in Vitro tested potassium sorbate on human blood cells and found it was, in the researchers' own words, clearly genotoxic to human peripheral blood lymphocytes. It caused chromosomal damage, sister chromatide exchanges, and DNA strand breaks at every single concentration tested, not just at high doses, at all doses. Then in 2025, a study published in Scientific Reports by Nature identified pathways linking potassium sorbate to liver toxicity and cancer-related mechanisms. The compound induced excessive reactive oxygen species production in liver cells, leading to cell death. When potassium sorbate combines with sodium nitrite, which is found in processed meats, it can form direct-acting mutagens. If you're putting ranch dressing on a salad that has bacon bits, you're potentially creating that combination in your gut. 9. Caramel color and 4-MEI. At number 9, caramel color sounds innocent. It sounds like someone melted some sugar, but Class 3 and Class 4 caramel colors, the types most commonly used in commercial food production, are manufactured using ammonia and sulfites. That process creates a byproduct called 4-methylimidazole, or 4-MEI. You'll find caramel color in Wishbone balsamic vinaigrette, Ken's balsamic vinaigrette, Newman's Own balsamic vinaigrette, Kraft strawberry balsamic, Brianna's creamy balsamic, Walden Farms balsamic vinaigrette, and Maple Grove Farms maple balsamic. Essentially, every mass-market balsamic dressing uses it. The National Toxicology Program found that mice exposed to 4-MEI developed increased lung tumors. California listed it as a carcinogen under Proposition 65 in 2011, and a court upheld that classification. The Center for Science in the Public Interest called on the FDA to ban it. But here's what really gets me. The caramel color in your balsamic vinaigrette serves one purpose: making cheap vinegar look darker and more expensive. It adds nothing to flavor. It's purely cosmetic. And the FDA allows companies to use the generic term caramel color without specifying which class. So consumers have absolutely no way of knowing whether their dressing contains the version linked to cancer. In Europe, specific labeling of caramel color classes is required, and 4-MEI limits are strictly enforced. Once again, the same product sold overseas is held to a completely different safety standard than the one sitting in your kitchen right now. 8. Polysorbate. Number 8 is polysorbate 80, a synthetic emulsifier that prevents oil and water from separating in your dressing. It's what gives many Italian, French, and vinaigrette dressings that smooth, uniform consistency. Wishbone Ranch and Russian use polysorbate 60, and Ken's Italian and Caesar use similar polysorbate emulsifiers. A landmark 2015 study published in Nature found that even low concentrations of polysorbate 80 degraded the protective mucus layer lining the intestines in mice. In normal mice, it triggered low-grade inflammation, obesity, and metabolic syndrome. In mice predisposed to gut issues, it promoted severe colitis and accelerated tumor development in the colon. A 2021 follow-up in the journal Microbiome found it caused lasting damage to the gut microbiome, increasing pro-inflammatory bacteria while decreasing the protective species. And a 2025 study in Nature Communications discovered something even more alarming. When mother mice consumed polysorbate 80, their offspring's gut microbiome was altered from birth, leading to long-term inflammation, even though the babies never directly consumed the emulsifier. The global rise in inflammatory bowel diseases tracks closely with the increased use of emulsifiers like polysorbate 80 in processed foods over the past several decades. 7. Maltodextrin. At number 7, maltodextrin is a highly processed starch used as a thickener, bulking agent, and flavor carrier. It's especially common in light and low-fat dressings, where it replaces the fat that's been removed. In Wishbone Light Ranch, maltodextrin is the third ingredient on the label. In Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning mix, it's the very first ingredient before anything else. Here's the critical number. Maltodextrin has a glycemic index of 110. Table sugar has a glycemic index of 65. That means maltodextrin spikes your blood sugar faster and higher than pure sugar does. So if you're choosing a light dressing because you're watching your blood sugar or managing diabetes, you may actually be consuming something worse than what you're trying to avoid. A 2019 study found maltodextrin exacerbated intestinal inflammation and depleted the protective mucus barrier in a dose-dependent manner. Cleveland Clinic research linked it to pathogenic bacterial growth associated with Crohn's disease. A 2022 review in Frontiers in Immunology confirmed it impairs intestinal barrier integrity. Consumers choosing light or low-fat dressings because they think they're making a healthier choice are getting a product where fat has been swapped for a substance with a higher glycemic index than sugar that actively disrupts gut health. That's the trade-off nobody tells you about. 6. Carrageenan. Number 6 is carrageenan, a polysaccharide extracted from red seaweed. It's used as a thickener and stabilizer in creamy dressings, low-fat varieties, and ranch-style products. Ken's Light Ranch contains it, along with multiple Kraft, Hidden Valley, and store-brand creamy dressings. The degraded form of carrageenan, called polygenan, is classified as a possible human carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer. And here's what makes this particularly concerning. Researchers have argued that food-grade carrageenan can break down into that carcinogenic form during normal digestion through acid hydrolysis in the stomach. But what shocked me most during research is this. Polygenan is the substance scientists use to deliberately create inflammation in lab animals. When researchers need to study anti-inflammatory drugs, they inject polygenan into animals to induce inflammation first. The compound used to create disease in research labs is an approved food additive in the United States. Carrageenan is banned in all infant formula in the European Union because of concerns about immature gut absorption. In the US, it's still permitted in infant formula. Professor Joanne Tabachman at the University of Illinois published 18 peer-reviewed studies on carragenan's health risks and petitioned the FDA to ban it from food entirely. The petition was denied. A 2024 randomized clinical trial published in BMC Medicine found carrageenan may cause damage to the small intestine lining and inhibit insulin processing, potentially contributing to the development of type 2 diabetes. The USDA National Organic Standards Board actually voted to remove carrageenan from the approved organic ingredients list in 2016, but the decision was later reversed under industry pressure. 5. Propylene glycol. Approaching the top 5, propylene glycol is a synthetic liquid used as a solvent, humectant, and emulsifier. You'll find it in Ken's Creamiest Caesar, Wishbone Russian, Wishbone Ranch, Kraft Greek Feta, and various fat-free ranch dressings that use propylene glycol alginate. Propylene glycol is also used in airplane de-icing fluid, antifreeze, engine coolants, paints, varnishes, and e-cigarettes. It is the exact same chemical compound in both industrial and food applications, just different purity grades. The World Health Organization sets a maximum daily intake of 25 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. Children under 4, pregnant women, the elderly, and anyone with compromised kidney or liver function cannot adequately eliminate propylene glycol from their body. The FDA actually banned propylene glycol from cat food because it causes a condition called Heinz body formation in cat red blood cells. Let me say that again. The FDA determined this ingredient is too dangerous for your cat's food, but it's still approved for your salad dressing. If your pet can't safely consume it, maybe we should be asking harder questions about whether we should be consuming it either. 4. TBHQ. At number 4, TBHQ stands for tert-butyl hydroquinone. It's a synthetic preservative derived from hydroquinone, which is a skin-bleaching agent. TBHQ prevents fats and oils from going rancid, and the FDA limits it to 0.02% of the oil or fat content in a product. TBHQ is present in many salad dressings through the oils used in production. Soybean oil with TBHQ is a standard commercial ingredient supplied to dressing manufacturers. And here's the loophole. Because it's added to the oil before the oil is used in the dressing, it may not appear on the final product label at all. The Center for Science in the Public Interest cites a government study that found TBHQ increased the incidence of tumors in rats. The Environmental Working Group's 2020 analysis concluded it harms the immune system. Research has shown it makes people more sensitive to food allergens and can make cancer cells more resistant to chemotherapy treatment. TBHQ has been banned in Japan since 2007. McDonald's removed it from their McNuggets after public pressure. It is chemically derived from hydroquinone, a compound banned in cosmetics in several countries. Yet it remains in the oil base of countless dressings sold in America, often without ever appearing on the label you read. 3. BHA and BHT, claiming the number 3 spot, BHA and BHT are synthetic antioxidant preservatives used to prevent fats and oils from going rancid. BHA stands for butylated hydroxyanisole, and BHT stands for butylated hydroxytoluene. The National Toxicology Program, part of the National Institutes of Health, classifies BHA as reasonably anticipated to be a human carcinogen. The World Health Organization's International Agency for Research on Cancer classifies it as Group 2B, possibly carcinogenic to humans. California's Proposition 65 lists BHA as a known carcinogen. The European Union classifies it as a suspected endocrine disrupting compound, meaning it can interfere with your hormones. Animal studies show it lowers testosterone, reduces thyroid hormone levels, harms sperm quality, and interferes with reproductive organ development. Despite all of this, BHA has been classified as generally recognized as safe by the FDA since 1958. A petition to ban it has been pending for over 30 years. It wasn't until February 2026 that the FDA finally launched its first comprehensive reassessment, a 68-year gap between approval and review. BHA appears in approximately 4,600 different food products. Kroger, Hy-Vee, and Aldi have voluntarily banned it from their private label brands, but it remains in many commercial dressings through the preserved oils used during manufacturing. When your body metabolizes BHA, it actually converts into TBHQ, the ingredient we just covered at number 4. So even when a product doesn't list TBHQ directly, consuming BHA can create it inside your body. Two preservatives, both linked to cancer, working in tandem without consumers having any idea. 2. Titanium dioxide. Coming in at number 2, titanium dioxide is a naturally occurring mineral used as a white pigment. Its primary industrial applications include making paint white, manufacturing sunscreen, whitening plastics, and bleaching paper. In salad dressings, it serves one purpose: making creamy dressings appear brighter white and more opaque. Walden Farms Ranch dressing lists titanium dioxide color directly on its label. So does Ken's Light Ranch. Various food service ranch dressings at fast food chains, including versions served at Wendy's and Burger King, contain it as well. It's generally concentrated in ranch, Caesar, and blue cheese-style dressings. In 2021, the European Food Safety Authority concluded that titanium dioxide could no longer be considered safe when used as a food additive because genotoxicity, meaning DNA and chromosomal damage, could not be ruled out. A 2017 study in Scientific Reports found that daily ingestion of titanium dioxide caused immune system disruption and precancerous lesions in the colon of rats. Traces have been found in the intestinal tissue of people with irritable bowel syndrome and colon cancer. On August 7, 2022, the entire European Union banned titanium dioxide from food. France had already banned it independently in 2020. The same ingredient that makes paint white is still making your ranch dressing white in the United States, where the FDA continues to classify it as safe. Dunkin' Donuts removed it from their powdered donuts in 2015 after consumer pressure, but it remains widespread in dressings. 1. Soybean oil and canola oil. Taking the #1 spot as the most pervasive hidden ingredient in American salad dressings, soybean oil and canola oil are the base of virtually everything on the shelf. In Kraft Classic Ranch, soybean oil is the very first ingredient listed. Hidden Valley Original Ranch uses vegetable oil, soybean and/or canola, as its primary component. Wishbone Ranch, Ken's, Marzetti, Newman's Own, and nearly every store brand follow the same formula. These oils are extracted using hexane, a petroleum-derived solvent classified in the European Union as a reproductive toxicity hazard. After extraction, the oils undergo refining, bleaching, and deodorizing, a process about as far from cold-pressed olive oil as you can get. The Cornucopia Institute has found hexane residues in soybean oil samples, and the FDA does not require manufacturers to test for hexane residues in the finished product. Soybean oil is roughly 51% linoleic acid, an omega-6 fatty acid. The modern Western diet has pushed the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio to somewhere between 10:1 and 20:1, compared to the historical ratio of roughly 1:1 to 4:1. A 2024 UK Biobank study found that higher omega-6 to omega-3 ratios were associated with higher mortality risks. Over 90% of soybeans grown in the United States are genetically modified. What makes this number one is the sheer scale. Soybean oil consumption in the U.S. has increased over 1,000-fold since 1909. It is nearly impossible to find a mainstream dressing brand that doesn't use it. Even products marketed as olive oil dressing frequently list soybean or canola oil as the primary ingredient, with olive oil buried much further down the list. And one more thing worth mentioning. Nearly every commercial dressing also contains something called natural flavors. That term sounds clean, but a single natural flavor can legally contain up to 250 chemically derived ingredients, including synthetic solvents, preservatives like BHA or sodium benzoate, and emulsifiers. None of those sub-ingredients need to appear on the label. The term natural flavors is the fourth most common ingredient listed on food labels in the United States, appearing on roughly 20% of all packaged foods. If you only remember one thing from this video, let it be this: flip the bottle. If soybean oil or canola oil is the first ingredient, you're eating a product that's mostly industrial seed oil with some flavoring mixed in. And if natural flavors appears anywhere on that label, you genuinely have no way of knowing what's actually inside. There you have it, 15 ingredients hiding in America's most popular salad dressings, from petroleum-based food dyes to compounds banned across the entire European Union. The common thread running through all of them is this: the food industry prioritizes shelf life, appearance, and profit margins over your health. And the regulatory system that's supposed to protect you has been asleep at the wheel for decades. If you're wondering what to buy instead, here are the brands that nutrition experts actually recommend. Primal Kitchen uses avocado oil as its base with no dairy, no artificial anything, and is Whole30 approved. Nutrition experts gave it an A+ for ingredient quality. Tessemae's uses organic ingredients with high oleic sunflower oil instead of soybean or canola. Chosen Foods makes dressings from 100% pure avocado oil with no natural flavors or artificial ingredients, and they're certified non-GMO and glyphosate residue free. If you want the most affordable clean option, Bragg makes organic oil-free dressings with an apple cider vinegar base for around $4 to $6 a bottle. And Bolthouse Farms offers yogurt-based dressings with no preservatives at budget-friendly prices found in most grocery stores. When reading labels from now on, follow these 4 rules. First, skip any dressing where soybean oil, canola oil, or high-fructose corn syrup appears in the top 3 ingredients. Second, avoid anything with artificial colors, especially if it has a number after the color name. Third, choose dressings with short ingredient lists where you can actually recognize every word. And fourth, stop buying fat-free or light dressings because the fat has almost always been replaced with sugar, maltodextrin, or chemical additives that may be worse for your health than the fat ever was. The simplest dressings, the ones made with real olive oil, real vinegar, and real herbs, are almost always the safest. If this changed how you'll shop for salad dressing, hit that like button and drop a comment telling me which ingredient shocked you most. Share this with your family and friends because everyone deserves to know what they're actually pouring on their food every single day. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss content exposing the hidden dangers in everyday grocery products. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.